Hello and welcome back to this particular series related to hybrid electric vehicle. So now we will focus on hybridizations and we will see mild, micro and pure HEVs. So with the rising of pollution and fuel prices, people want a cleaner and more efficient cars. And because of this, big companies from Audi to Mahindra are investing heavily in their eco-friendly vehicles. So we will see why these changes is happening and which companies are leading on their way. So the first reason is your environmental friendly and eco-friendly vehicles. Okay, so the air pollutions in our cities are rising. Then smoke from the normal cars cause health problem and people want vehicles that do not pollute. Okay, another reason is your better fuel efficiency vehicle. So fuel price keep rising. So everyone wants cars that go further on the less petrol and improved mileage means more savings. So because of these two reasons uh, car makers have started to shift their focus from only petrol and diesel cars to EVs and HEVs. Okay, so if we talk about the leading automotive companies, so they are from Audi, Daimler, Renault, Nissan, Porsche, BMW, Toyota, Hyundai, Fiat, Jaguar, and General Motors, Mahindra, and Land Rover and Mazda. So these are the companies which are shifting their research factories and sales to meet the growing customer demands for the cleaner and more efficient vehicles. Now here we will understand the two main things related to hybrid electric vehicles, their big battery system and and the electronics features. Okay, so which will be installed in their engine. So you will see how the battery powers the car and how the engines use electronics to give better performance to save the fuel and reduce the pollutions. So if you will talk about the battery, okay, of hybrid electric vehicles, so it will use a large high voltage battery pack instead of or in the addition to a small 12-volt battery. So they have a very big battery, high voltage big battery instead of 12 volt. So the energy storage, the first thing comes to energy storage. The battery stores electricity from the charging station or from the engine generator, and it holds the enough power to drive the car at the low speed or assist the engine. Then there is one electric drive. Okay, electric drive. So when you press the accelerator, the battery sends power to the electric motor and the motor turns the wheels silently, and with that it will give a instant torque. Then it will give a supportive role on the highway or the slip hills. So both the engines and the motor will work together, and this will reduce the load on the engine and it will save the fuel. Another thing is your regeneration. So when you brake, the motor acts as a regenerator and sends energy back to the battery. So this recovers energy that would be wasted as a heat in the normal brakes. So let's talk about some electronic features in your modern engine. So there is something called EFI, okay, which is called as EFI, electronic fuel injection. So it will replace your old carburetor. So a computer ECU measures the engine speed, throttle position and airflow, and then after it will spray the just the right amount of fuel into the combustion chamber above the cylinder for smooth running and lower the fuel uses. Then there is another electronic component which is called as ECU. Okay, it is known as engine control unit. So it is the brain of the engine and continuously adjusts the fuel timing and emissions system for the better performance and monitors the sensors for oxygen temperature and knock. Okay, another thing is your variable valve timing VVT. So it will it will measure the intake and exhaust valve opening. Now improve the torque at the low speed and power at the high speed, and it will reduce the fuel used and cuts the emissions by running the cycle more efficiently. So another thing is your turbocharging with electronic boost. Okay, turbocharging with electronic boost. So a turbo uses exhaust gas to push more air into the engine, and electronic control valves manage the boost pressure for smooth power delivery, and both gives the small engine big power while saving fuel when full power is not needed. Another thing is your emission control system. Okay, emission control system. So it will use your catalytic converter that will use to convert harmful gases into water and carbon dioxide. Then oxygen sensor will be there. It will lets the ECU fine tune the air fuel mixture for the clean combustion. Then evaporative emission control. So it will capture the fuel vapor from the tank so that they won't escape in and it will not go inside your combustion chamber with the fuel. Now, what is the benefit of using this combined with your engine and hybrid electric vehicles? Okay, so it will give you the better performance, higher fuel economy, lower emissions, and smooth operations. Okay, so that's all about the basic idea about electronic features combination with your hybrid electric vehicle. So now we will see the classification of hybrid electric vehicle. So the classification of hybrid electric vehicle is based on the various parameters such as architecture of HEV, hybridizations and energy storage system. Okay. So now we will see the classification of HEV based on their degree of hybridization, and this depend on the amount of power supplied by the internal combustion engine and the electric motor system or energy storage. So the question is, what is degree of hybridization? So degree of hybridization tells us the share of power supplied by the electric motor compared to the total power used by the car. In simple term, degree of hybridization, which is in the percentage, it is the motor power divided by motor power plus electric engine power into 100. So this percentage shows how electric hybrid vehicle is. And for example, if we talk about the mild hybrid, okay, so degree of hybridizations for mild hybrid is 10 to 20 percentage. 10 to 20 percentage, because electric motors only assist the engine, never drives the vehicle. Okay, and a small battery and the motor gives a small boost for the start stop and lower down the speed. Now for the full hybrid, it will have a 20 to 50 percentage, the degree of hybridization 20 to 50, because electric motor can drive the car alone at low speed, and medium sized battery engine and motor shares work in the city and highway. And if we talk about the full hybrid PHEV, so it is having 50 to 80 percentage of degree of hybridization. So here, because the large battery charge from the an outlet, okay, long electricity only range is required. So engine kicks in when the battery is low or high speed is required. So how to calculate this particular degree of hybridization? So find the motor power. It will be in your kilowatt. Okay, this will be in your kilowatt, and engine power, it is also in your kilowatt. So you need to put this value in this particular formula. So let's say I have motor power of 50 kilowatt, divided by 50, again motor power, and engine power, let's say 100. Okay, 100 into 100, so it will give you something around 33.3 percentage. So this car gets about one third of its power from the electric motor. So this is all about the degree of hybridizations in the hybrid vehicles. So based on the degree of hybridization, the HEV is classified into three different types, and they are your micro HEV, mild HEV, and pure HEVs. Or yes, pure HEVs. So what is micro HEV? So micro HEV is a basic hybrid car that adds just one electric features to run the engine. It uses a special start-stop system to stop the engine, switch off the engine when you don't need. Okay, and how to start-stop system work? How this particular start-stop system work? So it will detect the ideal condition. Okay, when you stop at the traffic light or in heavy traffic, the car sensors know the wheel have stopped. So at this point, the start stop system tells the engine to turn off automatically. Then engine off to save the fuel. So with the engine off, no fuel is burned while you wait in your traffic. Okay, and this saves a small amount of petrol each time, adding up a good saving over the time. And there is instant restart. When you press the clutch or release the brake, the system quickly restart the engine, and the restart is smooth and fast, so you don't feel a big delay. And it will have a saving and benefits like better fuel efficiency, lower running cost, reducing the emissions. Okay, so this is all about your basic idea of micro HEVs. And this type of HEVs you can find in many small hatchback cars or sedan cars offer this start-stop features. Okay, so in this micro HEV, basically regenerative braking technology helps to stop a combustion engine when the vehicle pulls to stop, and to restart it when the driver accelerates. So energy is stored in the an auxiliary battery is used to quickly start a battery and vehicle when it is required. So basically this system helps at the traffic conditions. Okay, and it is the first level of vehicle hybridization. So why it is called as the first level of hybridization? So because it adds only one electric features, no fuel electric drive, and engine still does the main work but uses recovered energy to restart. So this is the simplest form of hybridization. So that's why it is called as first level of hybridizations, which is found in your micro HEVs. So in India, a common example of micro hybrid is the Mahindra Scorpio. It is also known as Intelli hybrid. So this system reduces the fuel consumptions by up to 7% by assisting the engine with the electric power during the accelerations, and automatically turn off the engine within 3 seconds of the vehicle being ideal conditions. Okay, and start stop will activate, and again reuse the braking energy for activating it. Okay, so there are some benefits of Intelli hybrid. Okay, like fuel saving up to 7% improvement in the real world city driving, and it will reduce the emissions, smooth driving, and no major changes, like the system works with the existing engine and transmissions. So micro hybrid vehicles in the worldwide depends upon on the basic of battery technology, which is a lead acid batteries and lithium ion batteries, and also some other types of batteries. So what is the lead acid batteries? Okay, the same type used in the regular car for starting the engine, and it is very cheap and reliable but heavy and limited in the charge cycle, but it is good for the choice for basic start stop system. Whereas the lithium ion batteries, it is lighter and more compact than the lead acid and handles more charge discharge cycles, and giving longer life. So higher cost but better power performance for electric assistant. Okay, so depending upon these battery capacities, these vehicles are comes with a 12 volt micro hybrid and 48-volt micro hybrid. So why this voltage matters? So higher voltage means 48 volt can move more power with thinner cables, better electric assist and faster engine restart, more efficient energy recovery during the braking. And lower voltage means 12 volt uses the existing car wiring parts and lower cost but limited electric supports and best for the basic start stop without having lifting, heavy lifting. Okay. So the mild hybrid or mild HEV use a technique called regenerative braking for charging the battery. And regenerative braking is the conversion of the vehicle kinetic energy into your chemical energy stored in the battery, where it can be used to later to drive the vehicle's component. And many automakers have started using 48 volts mild hybrid as a standard features in their vehicle model. So these vehicles generally cost less but provide a less fuel economy. Okay, so with this increase production of 48 volt and above the voltage, mild hybrids models are from the automakers, and the growth rate of the mild hybrid vehicle in the global market is continuing to grow, means it is increasing positively, and during the upcoming a vehicle era it will be more in the market. Okay, so here you can see one example of Land Rover 48 volt mild hybrid system. Okay, so this is the 48 volt battery pack which is fitted here, and here you can see engine is there. Then after, there is built integrated starter generator is also fitted here, this particular area, and this is the converter. So this is basic layout of Land Rover 48 volt mild hybrid. Now, the Toyota sold a beginning in the 2002 only for the Japanese domestic market, okay? And Mini and BMW have a starts and stop system, and some with the regenerative braking in all other vehicles sold in the European market, which is running with a four-cylinder engine with like manual transmissions. Okay, so this already Toyota started in 2002 for the Japanese market. And another side, the Citroen has proposed a stop and start functionality in their vehicle and start a mild hybrid versions of the luxurious Toyota, okay, luxurious Toyota Crown, okay, system up its C2 and C3 models, and the concept car C5, an improved version of that, adding a regenerative braking and traction assistance functionality and ultra capacitor for energy buffering in their vehicle. And in 2004, Volkswagen bought two mild hybrid concept cars to Shanghai for the challenges. Okay, and Suzuki have announced the Suzuki Baleno with the integrated SHVH technology on a new car platform. Okay, so this is all about a basic idea of how mild hybrid vehicles is developing in this particular world in the automotive sector. So North America, Europe, Asia, Pacific, South America and Middle East and Africa adopting this micro hybrid, and companies like Audi, Daimler, General Motors, Porsche, BMW, Toyota, Hyundai, Fiat, Jaguar, Nissan, Mahindra and Mahindra, Land Rover and your Mazda and Fuji Motors are the major automakers, and they are built this micro hybrid technology in their cars. Now let's discuss about what is a mild HEV. So a mild HEV combines a regular petrol or a diesel engine with a small electric motor and generator in a parallel setup. So the engine remains the primary source of the power while the electric motor gives extra help when needed. So the key components are your internal combustion engine, electric motors and generators, then after battery packs and power electronics. In this, there is a parallel hybrid configuration is also available. So in a parallel hybrid system, both the engine and the motor generator connect to the transmission for uh, driving, and either sources or both the together can send power to the wheels. So how mild HEVs work? So it will work for the start stop functions. Already we have discussed then electric assist. So during the acceleration or heavy load, the motor adds extra torque, and this reduces the engine effort and saving the fuels. Then after regenerative braking, so when you brake or your motor will generate a motor generator act as a generator, and it will convert your kinetic energy into electric energy, and it will store it into the battery. So there are some benefits of mild hybrid. So fuel saving up to 15 to 20 percentage, and better mileage you will get in the city, lower the emissions, then no external charging, the battery recharge from the braking and engine power, and quick engine restart, cost is effective. Okay, so this is all about your short idea for mild hybrid. So basically, a mild hybrid vehicles consist of a small battery pack and a motor generator that can both develop electricity and help to boost up the internal combustion engine's output. Now let's talk about full hybrid electric vehicle. So full HEV or a strong hybrid is a vehicle which can only run on an internal combustion engine or only on an electric motor, and it also run by combination of both IC engine and electric motors. So a large and high capacity battery pack is required for battery alone operation. So large batteries and more powerful electric motor can power the vehicle for a short distance, and the arrangement of its electric motor, engine and battery system make it so that the vehicle can drive using electricity at a low speed. And if the more power is needed, the engine can boost the power, and it will allow the vehicles to operate with twice as much as power is needed. The cost of the vehicle is maximum as compared to the mild hybrid vehicles, but the advantage is that it provides a better fuel economy. So these vehicles have a divided power track, allowing a greater flexibility in the drivetrain by interconverting mechanical and electrical power. Okay, so these vehicles have better improved fuel consumption and also reduce the emissions. So the vehicle accessories such as the AC, windows and radio all are powered by using the battery. So here Ford hybrid system, Toyota Synergy Drive and General Motors and Chrysler. The two more hybrid technologies are full hybrid systems. Okay, so these are the example of that particular full hybrid cars. Okay, so now here we will see about series hybrid powertrain. Okay, so this system use the engine only to generate electricity and an electric motor to drive the wheels. So let us see how it work. Okay, so what is first of all series hybrid? So in a series hybrid, the engine never directly drive the wheels. Okay, instead the engine connect to the generator. The generator makes the electricity, as you can see here. Engine is connected with the generator, and generator is making electricity, and instead the generator makes the electricity. Then after this electricity flows to the battery and the electric motor here. Okay, it is going to inverter, then after battery, and coming back to the motor. So the electric motor alone provides all the power to move the vehicle. So there are some features related to this series hybrid. Simple drivetrain, only the motor drives the wheel, so there is no complex gearbox linking the engine to the wheels. And it is flexible packaging, so the engine generator set can be placed anywhere in the car for better design and space uses. Okay, and it is simple engine control. The engine runs at its most efficient speed all the time because it only need to turn the generator. Okay, So how the power flows in this particular system. So the engine to generator. Okay, from engine to generator, the engine run at a steady speed and drives the generator, means mechanical power to electrical power. Then after a generator to battery, so the generator send electricity to the battery for storage or directly to the motor. Then after battery to inverter. Okay, so the stored battery power goes through an inverter to match the motor needs. So DC to AC conversion. Then inverter to motor. So the inverter sends a smooth AC power to the motor. Then motor to the wheels. So the electric motor turns the wheels through a simple reduction gear mechanism. Here you can see a simple reduction gear mechanism is highlighted. Okay, so what are the benefit of this series hybrid? So engine efficiency means engine always run at the ideal speed for best fuel uses. Easy control means managing one engine speed is simpler than varying speed in other hybrid. Okay, and design freedom, no direct linking from the engine to wheel, means flexible car layout. So this is all about your series hybrid power train. Okay, now here we will see the parallel hybrid powertrain. So what is parallel hybrid? So in a parallel hybrid, both the petrol and the diesel engine and the electric motor can turn the wheels. Okay. Now the engine connected to the transmission and the wheels just like a normal car. So here you can say it is connected directly with transmission, then the your car wheels. Okay, and the electric motor also connect to the wheels either directly or through the gearbox. Okay, here you can see this particular separate diagram. So the electric, what will happen, the power can come from the engine, motor, or both at the same time. So how parallel hybrid works? So engine and the motor both drive. Okay, when you need extra speed like overtaking or climbing a hill, both engine and the motor work together. Then after engine alone, so in this case on the highway or when the battery is low, only the engine powers the car. Then there is motor alone. Sometimes we will use motor alone. Okay, so for the slow city driving or when starting from the zero, the motor may move the car. Then switching between these two sources, so simply clutch helps to connect or disconnect the engine and motor from the wheels as needed. And battery and inverter, so the battery is will store the electricity and inverter will charge the battery power to shoot the which is suitable for the motor generator. Okay, so this is all about your parallel hybrid powertrain. Now next we will discuss about series parallel hybrid powertrain. So what is this series parallel hybrid? So in the series parallel hybrid, the engine can do two jobs at the same time. Okay, it will charge the battery, means make the electricity via the generator, or drive the wheels directly from the momentum. So a special device called power split device, which is this one, PSD. Okay, it will decide how much power goes to the wheels and how much goes to the battery. So how it works? So engine charges the battery and drives the wheel. When the car needs a strong performance, the engine can supply energy for both driving and battery charging. Okay, and generator charges the battery in this case. So power from the generator will charge the high voltage battery for electric motor uses. Now the motor generator drivers. Okay, what it will do, so the battery sends energy to the motor for silent and pollution free driving, okay, especially at a low speed. Then there is a smart split, also called as power split device, which makes sure both the engine and motor can work together or the car can run just on the battery when required. So what is there are some key features for it, like flexible power management. So by the use of PSD, so PSD carefully spread engine power between battery and the wheels for the best performance. and better efficiency. So combination of engine and motor reduce the fuel and maximize the battery uses. And charging the while charge while you drive means whenever you are driving during that time you can charge. So no need to always plug in the charger. Okay, engine will charge your battery. So this is all about the parallel series parallel hybrid powertrain. So now we will discuss about the split hybrid powertrain. So what it is? So in a split hybrid, the engine power one set of the wheel, as you can see in this image, and maybe it will be your one axle, this particular thing, while the electric motor powers the other set of the wheel, rear axle. Okay. So this means the car can use both the engine and the motor together or separately to move. So how does it will work? So engine drives one axle. For example, the engine may drives the front wheels using its own mechanical system, and motor drives the other axle. So the electric motor may drive the rear wheels using the electric power taken from the battery. And there is a dual mode also. Okay, dual mode, or we can say dual power. So both can work together for extra strength, like fast acceleration for climbing, or like for climbing, fast acceleration for. So both can work together for extra strength, like fast acceleration or climbing. And independent power. So one axle wheels runs with the engine, the others with the electric motor. So giving a flexibility in the how car can move. So why it is useful? So it is useful because of better traction. Okay. So power is spread between front and the rear wheels. Okay. This front and the rear wheel, the power will split. It will divide. Okay. So it will make a more controlled and safe drive. Then after fuel saving and pollution reduction. So electric motor reduce the petrol uses and emissions, especially in the city traffic. And smooth driving. The vehicle switches smoothly between the engine mode and the motor mode for better performance. So this is all about your split hybrid powertrain, and we have finally completed our the second part related to hybridizations. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this video.